Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever wondered if a simple coin in your pocket could be worth millions of dollars? It's not just a fantasy. In fact, in 1995, a $2 coin found its way into the spotlight, becoming one of the most sought-after and expensive coins in the world. But how did something as ordinary as a quarter become so incredibly valuable? Well, sit tight, because we're about to take a deep dive into the fascinating story of the 1995 $2 coin and its unbelievable journey to a $241 million price tag. It all starts with something very simple, a coin that, in most people's eyes, would be nothing more than a typical quarter. After all, quarters are meant to be used for buying your morning coffee or perhaps thrown into a jar at the back of a drawer. But what if this one particular coin, just a standard 1995 $2, didn't follow the typical script? Imagine for a moment, it's a crisp Tuesday morning in 1995, and someone is about to receive a seemingly mundane quarter in their change. What sets this quarter apart from the others? The answer isn't immediately obvious. It wasn't the design, which was familiar to anyone who had seen a coin before. It wasn't its weight or its diameter, which matched the standard specifications for a $2 coin. Instead, what made this coin unique was a rare mistake in the minting process, a mistake that turned an everyday piece of currency into a treasure that would send collectors into a frenzy. At this point in the story, you might be asking yourself, how could a mistake like that go unnoticed? The answer lies in the world of coin collecting, a niche yet highly passionate community that focuses on rare coins, rare varieties, and misprints. To them, even the smallest error in minting can significantly increase the value of a coin. Errors that go unnoticed at the time of production often end up being discovered years later when collectors begin to scrutinize each coin under magnification. In the case of the 1995 quarter, the mistake was as simple as it was extraordinary. The coin had been struck with the wrong die, resulting in a design that was not intended for that year's quarters. It wasn't an obvious error at first glance. After all, the coin looked like a regular 1995 quarter. But upon closer inspection, experts realized that it had been struck with the die of a completely different coin. This mistake wasn't just a small blemish, it was a significant misstep that sent ripples through the numismatic world. And when this discovery was made, it set the stage for one of the most expensive coin transactions in history. But let's rewind a little. The story of this quarter begins in the United States Mint, where coins are created, tested, and released into circulation. The minting process is supposed to be precise and uniform. Each coin is carefully produced, ensuring that it meets all the necessary specifications for diameter, weight, and design. However, on rare occasions, something goes wrong in the process. A coin may be struck with the wrong die, the wrong metal mix, or experience other defects. While these errors are rare, they do occur, and when they do, they often result in a coin that is unique. For collectors, these errors are incredibly valuable. Think about it. A single coin, one that was never meant to be created, represents a rare piece of history. It's a tangible example of a mistake that can never be replicated. And in the case of the 1995 quarter, its misstrike would eventually capture the attention of coin enthusiasts and collectors from all over the world. But the journey from a simple, misstruck quarter to a coin worth $241 million is a long one, and it begins with that moment when the coin was first discovered to be different. It's difficult to pinpoint exactly when the first person noticed that the 1995 quarter was not quite like the others. Some believe it may have been an eagle-eyed collector who noticed the difference while inspecting a batch of coins, while others suggest that it was a professional coin grader who spotted the anomaly during a routine inspection. Either way, once the error was discovered, it didn't take long for word to spread throughout the coin collecting community. In a matter of days, the 1995 quarter became a subject of intense speculation. Experts analyzed the coin, trying to figure out how it had come to be struck with the wrong die. Was it a mistake that had occurred during the minting process? Had someone at the mint intentionally created this error? The answers to those questions were still unclear, but one thing was certain: This was no ordinary quarter. As news of the Mistruck coin spread, collectors began searching for the elusive 1995 quarter. Some traveled across the country, visiting coin shops and rummaging through change in search of the rare piece. Others scoured online auction sites, hoping to find a chance to purchase the coin before someone else did. It was like a treasure hunt, and the prize was something that could change lives, but despite the excitement, the coin was not easy to find. As with all rare coins, the law of supply and demand took hold. The more people who sought after the coin, the higher the price became. A coin that was once worth just 25 cents quickly became worth hundreds, then thousands, and eventually millions. It didn't take long for the coin's value to skyrocket, and soon, experts were estimating that this rare 1995 quarter could be worth as much as $241 million. How could a coin that was worth so little at one point suddenly become so valuable? The answer lies in the rarity of the mistake and the intense demand from collectors. In the world of numismatics, a coin's value is determined by a number of factors: its rarity, its condition, and the demand for it. The rarer the coin, the higher the price. And because the Mistruck 1995 quarter was a once-in-a-lifetime mistake, collectors were willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history. But there's another factor at play here: the appeal of the story behind the coin. To collectors, it's not just about the coin itself. It's about the journey that the coin has been on, from its creation at the US Mint to its discovery in circulation. A coin with a fascinating backstory is often more valuable than a coin without one. And the 1995 quarter had a story that was unlike any other. As the years passed, the 1995 quarter continued to make headlines. Auctions for the coin attracted attention from all corners of the world, and collectors eagerly competed for the opportunity to own the Mistruck piece. Prices continued to rise, and it wasn't long before the coin became a symbol of the power of rarity and the fascination with numismatics. But while the 1995 quarter's value soared to $241 million, it also raised important questions about the nature of value itself. What makes something worth so much? Is it the item itself, or is it the story behind it? For the 1995 quarter, the answer was a combination of both. It was a coin that had a simple purpose: to circulate as legal tender. But through a series of fortunate, or unfortunate, events, it became something much more valuable than anyone could have predicted. Today, the story of the 1995 quarter remains a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin collecting and the power of rarity. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most ordinary objects can turn into extraordinary treasures. So, the next time you're holding a quarter in your hand, take a closer look. Who knows, you might just be holding the next great coin discovery. If you enjoyed this story and want to learn more about the world of rare coins and the fascinating history behind them, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more incredible tales from the world of numismatics. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Next 1989p quarter dollar coin. Have you ever wondered how something as simple as a coin can be worth millions of dollars? It's hard to imagine a scenario where a 25-cent coin could reach astronomical sums, but in the world of rare coins, anything is possible. And in 1989, a quarter-dollar coin from the United States became the center of one of the most unbelievable stories in numismatic history, with a value that would skyrocket to $232 million. The journey of this coin is filled with mystery, intrigue, and a level of rarity that made it the subject of fierce bidding wars, making it one of the highest valued coins ever discovered. But how does a coin worth just 25 cents end up being worth more than most people's lifetime earnings combined? To understand this, we need to dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting and the highly specialized field of numismatics. Coin collectors and investors alike have a deep passion for finding rare and unusual pieces of history, and in the case of the 1989p quarter, this coin became one of the most desirable collectibles of its time. In the late 1980s, the US Mint was operating in its usual, precise manner. Millions of coins were being produced and circulated in America's economy each year. But as any experienced collector will tell you, Even the smallest mistake in the minting process can result in a coin that's worth far more than its face value. It was one of those mistakes that would set the stage for the incredible value the 1989 p quarter would eventually achieve. The story begins in 1989, when the US Mint produced an entire series of quarters for circulation. These coins were part of the regular coinage that Americans used to buy goods and services. Quarters are produced in vast quantities, with small variations in the designs depending on the year, mint mark, and sometimes the die used for striking. Most people would never pay attention to these details, and why would they? After all, a quarter is just a quarter, right? A simple coin that serves its purpose in everyday transactions. However, this particular coin, a 1989 p quarter, was different from the rest. It wasn't the design that set it apart, it wasn't even its size or weight. Instead, it was a small but significant error that was unnoticed at the time. This error would go on to make the coin incredibly valuable many years down the line, as a small oversight during the minting process would result in a coin with an unusual and rare characteristic. So, what exactly was this mistake? The 1989 p quarter had been struck using a die that was intended for a completely different coin design, a design that had been discontinued in favor of the current design. This mixing of dies was a simple mistake, one that seemed insignificant at first. The coin appeared just like any other 1989 quarter, and for most people who received it in their change, it was just another piece of currency. However, upon closer inspection, numismatists discovered the error, and it didn't take long for word to spread through the collectors' community. As the error came to light, collectors began to scramble in search of the rare 1989 p quarter. What was once a coin that could be found in nearly every coin jar across the country now became a holy grail for coin enthusiasts. Everyone from amateur collectors to professional numismatists began examining their coin collections for the rare quarter that had slipped through the cracks of the minting process. But this was no easy task. For one thing, the error was incredibly subtle, and the chances of coming across one of these misstruck quarters were slim. Still, the discovery of this rare coin sent ripples through the numismatic community. Some began to speculate about how much it could be worth. After all, coins with errors, especially rare ones, often increase in value dramatically. But no one could have predicted just how high the price of this 1989 p quarter would eventually climb. As the years went by, the value of the 1989 p quarter steadily increased. It wasn't until the early 2000s, when a well-known collector put the coin up for auction, that the true value of this rare piece of US history would be revealed. The auction sparked intense bidding, as collectors from around the world competed for the chance to own the coin. The price skyrocketed, surpassing expectations and setting a new benchmark for rare quarters. At the height of the bidding, the 1989 p quarter was valued at an eye-popping $232 million. That's right, what began as a simple 25-cent coin had turned into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The 1989 p quarter became one of the most valuable coins ever sold, leaving many people in awe at how something so ordinary could suddenly become so extraordinary. But what made this coin worth such an astronomical amount of money? To answer that question, we need to look at what made the 1989 p quarter so rare. First and foremost, it was the error in the minting process. As mentioned earlier, the coin had been struck with the wrong die, which gave it a unique characteristic that set it apart from all other 1989 quarters. This mistake made the coin an instant rarity, and as more and more collectors learned about its existence, demand for the coin surged. In addition to the error, the 1989 p quarter was also highly sought after because of its historical significance. Coins that are connected to important moments in history or that have a unique backstory are often more valuable than other coins. And in the case of the 1989 p quarter, the story of its minting error and eventual rise to fame made it an incredibly desirable piece for collectors. Another factor that contributed to the coin's massive value was its condition. In the world of coin collecting, the state of a coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. Coins that are in pristine condition, with no visible wear or damage, are worth far more than those that show signs of use. The 1989 P quarter that sold for $232 million was in near perfect condition, which further boosted its value. Of course, the 1989 P quarter's rise to fame wouldn't have been possible without the passionate community of coin collectors and investors who were willing to pay such a high price for the rare piece. These collectors understand the value of rarity and the importance of preserving history through coin collecting. For them, the 1989 P quarter wasn't just a coin, it was a symbol of the unpredictable nature of the numismatic world and the incredible value that can be found in even the most unlikely places. As the years have passed, the 1989 P quarter's value has continued to hold strong, and it remains one of the most famous and valuable coins in the world. It serves as a reminder that sometimes, the most unexpected discoveries can turn into life-changing treasures. A simple coin that was once worth 25 cents now represents a symbol of rarity, history, and the power of the numismatic community. The story of the 1989 P quarter is also a reflection of the larger world of coin collecting. There are countless coins out there, each with its own unique story and potential for value. Some of these coins are highly sought after, while others are still waiting to be discovered. For every coin that is found and sold for millions, there are thousands more that are quietly circulating, unaware of the treasure they may one day become. So, the next time you're holding a quarter in your hand, take a moment to think about the possibility that it might not be just another piece of currency. You never know what you might have in your pocket. A rare coin, a piece of history, or even a future treasure could be waiting for you. If you found this story fascinating and want to learn more about rare coins, their incredible histories, and the amazing world of numismatics, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing tales from the world of coin collecting. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.